Already welcome back to the video back because we're going to be going over every single tower and ranking them. So right now there are 17 towers. Well, I guess there's 18 because there is the, oh my goodness, my brain, the warship. Um, but the thing is it's technically not actually here. It is in the game, kind of. I don't know how to call it. Whatever. So yeah, also I just want to say I spent way too much Roblox. You see I'm level 25, but I have stuff like artillery. Pretty sure it's supposed to be level 65. I own every single tower because I spent like way too much Robux. So it really means a lot if you guys can hit that like button and subscribe. It really mean a lot to me. So let's go into it. I'm gonna start off with like the worst tower to the best, and I just want to say that this is like based off preference, based off things how I like to play. Also, it's all opinion. Like not all opinion, because of course some things are gonna be better than others, but most of it is my opinion. So please don't say anything bad in the comments because I'm no pro at the game, but I do know a lot because I've done my research and done stuff like that. And I've been playing tower defense games for years and years. So even though I don't play this game all the time, I still do know a lot of information about the game. All right, to start off in our very worst place, I think you guys all know who this is going to be, and this is going to be the good old Ranger. Ranger is just your basic starter troop. It's the troop that you start off with, and the only troop that you actually end up starting off with when you first join the game. It's just generic, boring tower that you just shoot. There's not a whole lot to it, you know, nothing special. And there's towers that do the same thing that are just 10 times better. So what's even the point? That's kind of the whole thing. That's kind of why it's in like last place. And I hope that all of you can agree with me. I hope. Ooh. So I do want to say next we have the shotgunner. I really think that the Ranger's the only like really bad tower in the game. Shotgunner is not like exactly amazing. I think I've used a shotgunner like never. But the thing about the shotgunner is that it does have its moments where it can be helpful. Places where you don't have hidden detection, with it being able to spray and hit multiple enemies at once, you're able to kind of cheese it and be able to still hit those hidden detection, like those hidden enemies, even when it can't target it himself, because of that spray, which I do think it does come in helpful, and it does actually do, and it's honestly better than I thought. Sometimes, like, it is able to hit multiple targets at once, which does make it kind of good, so you do have to kind of be smart about its placement, but overall, it's honestly not that bad of a tower, and overall, I do not hate it. Definitely not good. I wouldn't use it over, like, Juggernaut at all, but it's still just not a horrible tower, I guess. Sometimes early game, it's actually like when you're just first playing the game, it's not that bad, especially for that help with hidden detection. So this might be kind of interesting, but I'm kind of putting these two both at the like same place. So we have the Cryo Blaster and we have the Cryo Ranger. Both are the only two freezing towers in the game right now, and I'm kind of putting them at the same place because they both do different things. The Cryo's Ranger bottom path, I do love its freezing, and it does can do some okay damage, I guess, with its top path. So it's not the worst tower with that freezing ability, but I do like the Cryo Blaster because it is better at freezing. Overall, the thing is that they can't freeze the boss. If they could freeze the boss, OP towers, but because they can't, I don't know how high I could put it up on the list. I just don't really use freezing towers. Some people do, some people don't. I don't. It does have its uses, but overall, 9 out of 10 times, I don't think it will, so that's why it's so far down on the list. Next, we have the good old Operator. Operator is literally just the Ranger, but better. The Operator is a really good like tower for beginner players, and it's actually really good for early game for people who don't have other good early game towers like Control Boat or Laser Gunner. It's overall just the starter beginner tower, I feel like, for a game, and it's overall just pretty decent. It's not that bad at all. When I first played the game, it was a tower that I was always using, so that's why it's not too far down the list, but because, again, it's an early game tower, it can't be high up. Yeah. So next on my list is the Mine Layer. Mine Layer, not a bad tower, just not very useful. So its very first level, it literally has a DPS of 0.8, I just realized, but the thing is it throws down something and it does 20 damage. The thing can only hit one unit. In this game, you got hordes and hordes, and the 20 damage is just not going to be worth it. So it's just not worth spending your money for it. Plus, on top of that, there's just so many like better towers to use for that slot and to spend that money. I do have to say that I believe it's I can't remember. I want to say bottom path. I don't have enough money to actually see. One of those paths, let me double check with the wiki. There's a wiki out there, but it's not even like they don't even have it on it. I don't even know. But the mine layer, no one can actually shoot. That poor zombie just getting frozen. Can this actually do damage? No, it can't. The poor one zombie is just stuck there. There we go. But overall, not. I think it is the. I hope it's the bottom path. I hope I'm telling you right. But there's one path where the mines actually do some really good damage, and against like the plague doctor, just the normal one, it's actually pretty useful. It's how I was able to beat it. Like when I first started playing the game was with the mine layer, I think bottom path or whatever. Overall, not horrible tower, but it does only have really, I think, one good path. Just not very useful, especially in like all the other game modes. So because it has its uses, it's higher up, but because it doesn't, it's also lower down. Okay, so that's all the like 6 lowest ones. Now I want to actually try and win. I have these towers I've never used like ever. I don't even know if spending money on the shotgunner was good, but it's just whatever. As you can see, he's able to hit multiple troops, like I was saying, and honestly, he does a good amount of damage. Just it's a little expensive for the damage that he's able to do. Whoa, 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 whoa! I forgot. The Cryo Blaster can freeze bosses. I forgot how good the Cryo Blaster actually is. Oh, I have to rethink it. Move everything down. Move the Cryo Blaster above the mine layer on my list. Decent, just something that I probably won't use every single time, but better tower than I thought I was. Than I thought I. Oh my goodness, I can't. Than I thought it was. Let's max that. So it actually can freeze bosses. Does that mean like the main boss? Well, I don't actually know. Maybe it does. I know it can. Maybe it can't freeze the main boss actually. Overall, having that be able to be frozen is quite nice. I just on later rounds when there's like 5 of those. It's just going to get a little overwhelmed, which is why it's kind of down here. That is a better explanation. My bad. I'm really bad at sometimes explaining things. Again, shotgunner being very helpful. I forgot that the top path also had can actually see through thing, whatever. So that's also good. Operator, just decent tower overall, I guess. And then I'm not even trying with the ranger. Ranger's just so bad. But yeah, I totally forgot about that. All right then. Let me. Is it the bottom path? Yes, it is the bottom path mine layer. Bottom path mine layer is actually pretty decent against like a boss. So there you go. All right. Hopefully that's all the information, and hopefully that should be everything for the bottom 6 towers on this list. Okay, yeah, I'm right. It can't actually freeze the boss, but it can freeze like mini bosses, I guess I'd say. Overall, I might actually lose this. Oh my, that ain't good. I thought I was gonna win this. Why does this game hate me sometimes? I think we'll be able to win, but like closer than I'd actually we're fine. That was quite easy. So you can see you're able to win with these towers. No tower is really bad, except for I'd really say Ranger is really the only bad tower. All right, next on to the other next 6 of this list. All right, so we're getting to the point where it's getting a little hard for me to like decide what tower goes where. And I just realized I literally have a patrol boat down here, and I can't. This is a map without water. Oh my goodness, I'm so stupid. But yeah, we'll use these 3 and then leave. But okay, there's a lot. I'm really overwhelmed for some reason. So we have in our next place we have the sniper. Sniper's not a bad tower. It has its uses, but overall, it's just Like, I do understand that it does do a good amount of damage, and it's kind of slow, though, and it's some of its other levels, with that huge range, it is kind of nice, but compared to other towers, it's just not good. It's not a bad tower overall, just not good compared to other towers. So next on this list is actually going to be the Missile Trooper. So, thing is about the Missile Trooper, so pretty much everything here and up, I would say, are good towers. Towers that have multiple uses, and even the late game, you could still use. And it's still a decent tower. So the thing about Missile Trooper is it's a great tower overall to be able to handle hordes, because of its splash damage. There's not, if you think about it, there's actually not as many towers as you may think with splash damage in the game. Really, Rocket Trooper, Shotgunner. I can't really think of any other ones, but that big like range is really helpful in some instances. Is that the right word? I don't even know if I'm using the right words. I'm just going to point out. Overall, it's really a decent tower, so I would have to put it here. It does, like, I'm not going to go into Elite with it. Maybe because of how many units there are, maybe I will. But I won't be going into, like, the hardest mode. I can't think of what the name of that one is with it. But overall, it's definitely not a bad troop. I've used it for the longest time. It's what helped me beat Intermediate easily. It's strong. It does a lot of damage. In that wave, the extra damage around is real helpful. Also, Intermediate mode and on, you have what if you don't have like a. There's only a certain couple of troops that can actually damage certain enemies. I can't think what they're called, but they pretty much have like a shield where only like explosives, like the missile trooper, or the laser gunner. I couldn't think of that tower's name. It's driving me crazy. Laser gunners, one of the. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Words are just. I'm struggling today, but it's good against certain troops like that. Even the guide that's like below is like you might need one. So yeah. And then after that we have the John Tower, which overall is decent. I haven't really used the John Tower much, but it's good. Okay, it's just a good all around tower. Can't say anything much about it. I don't hate the tower. And I don't know. There's not a whole lot to talk about John. His axe ability is quite nice. It is actually quite a good hitting certain things, and it does a lot of damage. So his ability is good. It does a good amount of damage, and overall, it's a decent tower. It does have one path that has hidden detection, but it's not. I believe only one path has hidden detection, and that hidden detection path isn't exactly like what I'd call good, but it's not bad either. I hope if you guys don't know the patrol boat, I'm not going to a water map, but next is the patrol boat, which you can just see right there. Great tower. If you join the group, you get enough cash when you start off to actually be able to like place one right away, and it's a great starter tower to start earning some money and do a little bit of farming. I'll play like Elite or something on the forest map. I don't remember which one. It's like a hidden forest, I think is what it's called, with that like nice loop around this little like stream creek thing. I don't even know what to call, like a river or a pond or something like that. I don't know what to call these things. Whatever. But you can place it there, and its range is good, its damage is good, it's cheap. Overall, it's just a really good tower for early game. And the flame boat, amazing support to just slowly deal damage to everything. And its top path has a lot of range with that explosive ability that passive ability to shoot rockets is also quite nice. Then after that we have our barracks. I love the barracks. One of my favorite towers of all time. Barracks is just good. Its bottom path has, I believe it's the bottom path, right? Yeah. It has those M202 troopers, which are just beautiful, being able to shoot damage and actually rocket things. And it has a flamethrower. That flamethrower is a beautiful tower that can just obliterate through. Speaking of that, I might die here. And its top path has, I don't know if I can't afford it, but it has the rail trooper, which does a really good amount of damage and has a lot of health. And overall, it's just a decent troop as well. Only issue is that it's not exactly good against bosses, except for the rail trooper. The bottom path is just good against hordes. The top one's good about bosses, but it's not like you can really do amazing. Like, there is a way to use this tower to solo Elite, but there is a lot of places where it's really good, but there's also times where it's just kind of I guess I'd call it. Overall, it's a really good tower and definitely one of my favorites. Just, it does have some weaknesses with, it being troops that's on the field, like, actually can get run over and killed. Especially on a map like this, troops can come out of nowhere and run right through them and just kill them quite easily. It is cool. I love the tower, but it just has that huge weakness that it can just get run through, just like all those hiddens did right there. So overall, good tower, just has some weaknesses. And then next we have the farm. I don't know what the farm does. Boom, crash, amazing. Thing is that you literally saw me win easy mode without it, and I have been able to win elite without it. Elite? Oh my goodness. Intermediate without. I haven't even beaten elite. I haven't been playing this game very much, as you can tell. But I haven't even beaten. I've beaten intermediate and whatever with it, and you can, like I said, you can beat elite with just the barracks. So there are times when it is good to have, but it's not like you can't. You can beat the games without it. I don't know about the hardest game mode. You might need it, but I just wanted to point that out. It's really good, but if it was needed a little bit more, of course it'd be like number one, of course. But it does make the game easier sometimes, or sometimes I get a little carried away farming and then I end up dying. But overall, just a really good tower, and that's why I put it so high up. That's what I'm saying. From now on, all the towers are just really good, I gotta say. Alright, now it's time to hopefully just win with these towers. I've not used John. Maybe the bottom path is I can't remember which one's technically the better path for John. I can't remember which one. Oh, that's gonna bother me. I remember now. The top one does a little less damage, but it does have the stealth detection. The bottom path has the rail. Is the better one that does more damage, and it has that axe attack, which is really good. So I do think the bottom path John is better, by the way. I think that's how it works, right? Yeah. Look at that flamethrower just melt through everything. What a beautiful tower. Oh, this is a very long video, I've also started to realize. Also, look at John. John just does a lot of damage. I love John. John's just a beautiful tower. But yeah, that 144 damage per second is quite nice. I do, that ability, 52,500 is so much. It's just, I don't think it's just worth that much money. There ain't no way. So, but let's buy it. That might be 270 damage per second is really good, I do have to say, but I don't know if it's worth for that price. It is quite good at taking out stuff. Missile Trooper, though, been doing amazing this game, I do have to say. So, very helpful tower, a lot. So I think I'm going to get another one. Just the top path I find really good. So yeah, look at John just work. Let's use the axe and just see that health go away. Look at that health. I don't know what rage does. I forget. Does it? I think it buffs the other towers around him, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Getting a little away with a little more health than I'd like. But look at that flamethrower just melt through. Just does a lot of damage. I'm not gonna Rail Trooper won't spawn in time, but Rail Troopers are just also a really nice tower. But yeah, overall, just some really good towers here, as you can see, and we're able to beat elite real easily. And I'm not even putting in. Maybe I should put in more cash. I'm gonna be like, it's fine. We won't die, and then we're gonna die or something. We're fine, right? Yeah, easily. But yeah. That's winning with those towers. Now it's time to go on to the other amazing towers. So I'm trying to earn some money because we got into the expensive towers. So these are the top 5 towers in the game that I would rank. So in 5th place we got the EDJ. I'm not going to place it because that's just how I'd probably get myself killed, wasting money that probably won't do a whole lot. Just can make things cheaper. Your troops cheaper. You can also make them have more range and fire faster, ultimately make them do more damage. Pretty much just buffs your towers, and it's a really helpful tower to have as right away it already gives 5% damage buff, fire rate buff, and 5% range buff. Really good. So that is the tower in number 5, and of course it does no damage, but that's not really needed. And in our 4th place, we got the good old artillery. Can I actually hit all that? Most of it, yeah. So I haven't used this tower at all. I forgot how you do it. G, yes. Please fire. There we go. It just does a lot of damage, and it's really nice to see. It is a little difficult to aim sometimes like that, but overall, it is really good because of how much damage it does. Okay, it did hit. I do like it. Pretty decent tower, and it's really nice. All right, in third place, next, we got... Where should I place you so you can hit most of it? Like, right there, I guess. We got the Railgunner. Railgunner, just... it's a good tower, and it's really good against the boss. Being able to hit, like... The amount of damage that it is able to do in one shot against something like the boss is so good. But the only issue is it attacks so slow. So it's something like where I place it right now for... Dang, I just missed it. For like early game, it's just not very helpful. It's definitely not bad. Taking out one troop with that. It's a really good tower against bosses, but overall, it's kind of like... not helpful right now, and it's easy mode. I won't really need it. It's more for like any mode that's not easy, so I probably chose the worst game mode to be testing these stronger units, especially because I'm on wave 11. I'm like halfway through and I barely have anything maxed, so I might be in a little bit of trouble with it. I might die to this one, but we'll see. But yeah, really good tower with the amount of damage it can do, just not good early game, and that's why it's not like second or first place. Okay. Second place, definitely already have one placed. Definitely got to be the Laser Gunner. It's 950 to play, 925, which is pretty cheap, but its ability to do damage against those like armor piercing whatever guys, I don't know what those armor piercing bullets is really nice. Plus on top of that, just does really good damage for its price, and overall it's a really good tower. There's not a whole lot to say about the Laser Gunner. If you've used the Laser Gunner, you will know that it is just a beautiful tower. And of course, I love the skin that it comes with it, the cookie or whatever one. Christmas one is a beautiful skin, and I just love this tower. It's just easy to use. It's an easy tower to use, and it does a lot of damage. The bottom path is more just spray, do tons of damage, and the top path is actually able to shoot through multiple enemies at once. So use the top path at like long stretches like this. Bottom path just in a big area with lots of range. Very good tower. Easy to use. Love it. And I think we all kind of guessed who I was going to put for number one, but we got to put the beautiful Juggernaut. Oh, this guy, he just does so much damage and is able to just shred through everything really quickly, and it's just overall a beautiful tower, and it's really good. There's nothing else to say it. With the EDJ with the tower, which I think I'm going to place one right now, just alone already does 144.4 damage per second. Thing is it's able to do over 1,000 damage per second with the max top path EDJ. At the bottom path Juggernaut, top path EDJ, together can do 1,050 damage per second. That is ridiculous. So as you can see, it's of course going to be the best tower. With that damage, it can shred through bosses and enemies like nothing, pretty much. Alright, it's time for the final wave. We're going to buy this thing. This thing can hit one hit for 6,500 damage. Do damage of DPS of 553, which is not very good compared to like the 975 that I could do. Can I get that final? Well, actually, I can sell these. And then I can get that. There we go. 1,050 DPS total for that, and this thing can do 555.7 DPS total. And let's just see. Come on. Fire, fire. Oh, look at that. Beautiful damage. That is just a lot of health just gone in a matter of just like... Oh, that's just beautiful to look at. I just love seeing that. But as you can see, you can tell that those are some of the strongest towers for a reason. Like, literally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towers just total. Like, I literally just used 5 towers and was able to kill it all. Well, I guess 6, because there's a DJ, I should say. And the one artillery didn't really do much, so it was really just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to kill the boss, and only like 4, I guess, the EDJ was max. And we shredded that boss. There's a reason these are the best towers in the game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys also did agree with my tier list. There are some like points where there are some things that could change depend on the scenario. But based on what I've used from my experience, these seem to be the towers that I use the most and the towers that I think are best. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. It would really mean if you hit that like button and subscribe. Sorry for this video being so long. And sorry if I struggled to speak and you guys like couldn't understand the things I was talking about. My brain doesn't always work the exact best, so my bad, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out, guys.